Morning.
Mm.
Welcome back to Wake Up and Ball, brought to you by
Good morning.
US. We wake up and we ball. I'm Richie, he's Tony, and we bring you guys all the latest news around the sports universe. Beyond the NFL, beyond the AFCs, beyond the bad organizations of the Dolphins and the Jets. Okay, here we are, waking up and ball. We're going to be talking about MVP frontrunners. We're going to be talking about NFL Week 12 preview, some NBA talk, all things right here. Hit the like button. Tony, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Richie. How you feeling this morning, man? I'm feeling a little better. I wasn't the best yesterday. I didn't say that, but I'm feeling good, man. How you doing?
I'm feeling excellent. It's another morning. I'm really enjoying this new routine that we're on. You know, we're a week and a half into the Wake Up and Ball series. If you guys are tuning in right now, let us know. If you guys are enjoying Wake Up and Ball, we got Aquavision, JD the Great always waking up with us. Nadeem Metz, Glenn, of course, calling us out for being late. Teddy, NY Jets Indy. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, man. We really do appreciate all the support that you guys are showing us here on Roundtable Sports Network, brought to you by BetUS. So let's get into the business and let's talk things that we need to talk about, baby. So, TD, how are you doing this morning, man? Like, how are you feeling? I know that this whole Wake Up and Ball series has been a success for the most part, but we're just getting started, right?
Yeah, we just getting started, Richie, man. I was looking at some of the analytics this morning, and what it tells me is that people are starting to wake up and ball. They're starting to get on track with what we're building. The subscriber count over the last 28 days just on this channel alone is plus 358. So that's pretty awesome, man. So everybody who's tuning in now, everybody who's joined the channel right here at Roundtable Sports, thank y'all so much for waking up and balling with us, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, this is just the beginning. Let's go. Nathan, Grand Junction Jet. I watch Wake Up and Ball every morning. Look at that. Every morning. Isn't that wild? Yes. Isn't that wild? We got people. Should be part of your daily routines, your morning routines, and that's what we're trying to build here. So please do not forget to like the show on your way in. We have a great show coming up, man. We have a great show coming up. So let's get straight into business and talk about last night's Knicks game, because that's what happens when I get to control the show. The Knicks went out there and had our dynamic duo both get a 30-point double-double, TD. The Knicks have won 4 straight, and I want to tell you this stat. First time in franchise history that the Knicks have scored 130 points back-to-back games. It's clicking. It's all coming together, baby. It's all coming together. All right, a 48-point first quarter. Jalen Brunson is back to his MVP level. And Karl-Anthony Towns, TD, he's having the best start of his NBA career. What Karl-Anthony Towns is doing right now is better than he's ever done as a Minnesota Timberwolf. That's scary for the league. What's your thoughts of the Knicks and the Suns game last night, and your overall thoughts of the Knicks right now at 9-6, 4 games winning streak? Seems like they're catching their stride.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They seem like they're on a roll right now. Is that 4 games straight?
4 games straight, yes, sir.
4 games straight.
Third in the East.
You know, I do a lot of player props and stuff like that. So I try to get on as many games as possible. It helps me do that. And here's what I will say: they do it in so many different ways on different nights. And you don't know where it's going to come from. Sometimes there's times where, you get a little big time spark from a guy like Mobley. And then sometimes you get Allen that grabs the double doubles with 15 points. But when you got Cat and you got Brunson doing the things that they're doing, it's like almost, I don't want to say impossible, but it's pretty hard to beat. And again, they're not. You want to see them stack up against the best of the best to really cement it in. But one thing I'll tell you about the NFL, you just got to make sure you're taking care of business on the teams that you should be taking care of business of. And that's what the Knicks are starting to do. They're starting to do that, and that's an amazing thing. Listen, let's recognize the big dogs in the East, okay?
Orlando. Knicks are up there.
Orlando, Cleveland, Boston. The Knicks got to show me that they can, by about 30 games in, get up
Wait,
there.
did you just put Orlando with the big dogs and not the Knicks?
Well, I'm just saying that's the top
No.
three right now, Rich.
There's three big dogs, and it's the Knicks is one of those three. I mean, what are we doing?
What are you doing? I mean, we're going to disrespect what Orlando has done so far?
No, we're not going to disrespect it, but you made it seem like you put the Magic over the Knicks in this big dog race.
No, well, I am right now.
Why? The Knicks are better than them they're ahead of them in the standings.
Did they pass them last night or something?
Yeah.
Because that had to recently happen. So
yeah, they passed them. They're 9-7. We're 9-6.
Well, guess what? Congratulations to the New York Knicks, because I was just going to make the point. 20, 30 games in, I want to see you catch up and pass the Orlando Magic like you should. So, bam, there you have it. They've already done it. That was quicker than I expected. So, with that being said, those are the big dogs of the East. But can New York beat Cleveland or Boston, Richie?
Yes, especially Cleveland. We're not scared of them.
What makes you think that?
Because we match up very well against them. We know them very well. We had a whole playoff series 2 years ago. They're pretty much the same exact team on paper as they are now. And the Cavs versed us early in the season when we're figuring ourselves out. I mean, just wait for this Knicks team to get everything connected, which we're seeing right now. The Cavs have the chemistry. They've had it for years. Mm-hmm. The Knicks are gaining chemistry. And there's another player on this Knicks team that was not healthy against the Cavs that was the neutralizer of the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is the biggest reason why I love our matchups against the Cavaliers, and that is Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is the guy because he shuts down Jared Allen. He shuts down Evan Mobley. He gets all the rebounds. He's the garbage man. And that's the guy that we're missing because he is the key to the Knicks' identity. Because you talk about like the Jets' backbone is supposed to be the defense, and that failed this season. The Knicks' backbone is the defense. And we haven't even seen that yet this season because we are without our top defender, Mitchell Robinson. So now we're becoming an offensive type of team. So when we get the defense back, that's why I feel like we match up very well against Cleveland.
Well, here's what I want to know. Do you love your team so much? And I know it's early to ask this, but just hypothetical with me, Richie. Do you love the Knicks roster so much that if the trade deadline was literally in a few days, you'd say, we're good. We don't need to make any trades? I mean, when you look at Boston and Cleveland, what you're going to have to do to come out of the East?
It depends on who's healthy. Are we fully healthy as a roster or not?
Yeah, you're fully healthy.
Then I think we are pretty good. But the only thing that we need is depth off the bench. We don't need anybody for the starters. That is a 100% fact. If you ask me, am I comfortable with the starting five? 100,000,000%. There is not a player we can trade for that's going to be better than the starting five that we have. But when it comes to bench help, yeah, you can convince me if there's somebody on the trade market that the Knicks can figure out a way to fit on their roster cap-wise. I don't know if we have the money to do it because the Knicks are kind of like capped out. And we have so many guys in the books that we're paying a lot of money. But if we have a healthy Mitchell Robinson, a healthy Precious Achiuwa, a healthy Deuce McBride, that they're not healthy right now, and then we get Josh Hart moving to the bench, like, I really do think this Knicks team is good enough on paper now without making any trades because we made all the trades. The Knicks made, 3 trades, TD, in a span of a year. 3. Mm-hmm. You know, like that. We've been active. And I also know that Leon Rose is never satisfied. So there's a chance that he does go out there and make another trade.
Yeah, I would agree with you. See, I like your starting five with Bridges, Cat, Anunoby, Hart, and Brunson. But then you get into that depth. I love the Cameron Payne piece. Now, I love the Cameron Payne. I feel like that's just going to be the most underrated thing for y'all.
He was a dog last night.
He can get buckets, man. But after that, it's like, I don't know, bro. Where do I reach? Where do I go?
What do you mean?
Like when you really look at the depth, think about a playoff rotation, right? 8 players, maybe 9. Who are those 8 or 9 for the
Deuce McBride, who was our best player off the bench, is hurt right now. Okay. Mitchell Robinson. Precious Achiuwa is our backup center power forward who's been hurt all season. He got hurt in preseason. He's a guy that was in the OG Anunoby trade that we brought in, and he's a scrapper. He's a big piece off the bench that we're missing right now, right? So that's another guy. And then when you add Mitchell Robinson, you can maybe even start him at the 5, move Josh Hart to the bench. right? And then you have Cat at the 4 and Mitchell Robinson at the 5, and then the bench unit consists of Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Precious Achiuwa. That's a nice 8-man rotation, if you ask me.
And you feel good about the backup center situation?
No, that's the biggest issue. Jericho Sims is our backup center, and a lot of Knicks fans are kind of like questioning him. He's been looking better as of late, but the Knicks do have rookies on this team, TD, that has been playing off the bench because of the injuries. We have a rookie of the name of Ariel Hukporti, and he was a late second-round pick, and he is a center. And every time this guy goes on the court, he's a dominant force. And every Knicks fan is like, the thing about Tom Thibodeau is he's stubborn. He never plays the kids, right? He doesn't really give the young rookies time. And when they do get the time, Knicks fans are infatuated with them. Play the kids! It's always been a mantra for Knicks fans. And Hukporti is a guy that we feel like has a lot of untapped potential. He has like 8 blocks in only 60 minutes so far this season. And that's a guy that we feel like could be the potential backup center for the long run. And we have Tyler Kolek, who's filling in for the injured Deuce McBride rookie. We have another rookie, Pacome Daddier. We have 3 rookies right now that are actually impacting this Knicks team depth-wise because of all the injuries. Do I trust them in the playoffs right now? No. But to stay afloat right now in the regular season while we're waiting for the guys to get healthy, they've been helping out. That's a positive.
Well, last question real quick, Rich, if you don't mind me asking, who wins the East? And I'm not talking about playoffs. Who wins the East, number 1 seed?
I think if the Celtics are going to run away with it eventually, I think the Cavs are going to come down to earth a little bit. Personally, I think that the Celtics are just built different, and my prediction is going to be Celtics number 1, maybe the Cavs get 2, and the Knicks get 3. I mean, the Cavs got a huge start. I mean, that's no fluke. 15-1. That's going to be hard to they have to go on a huge losing streak.
16-1.
16-1, sorry. Like, that's wild. So I really think it's a 2-man, unless they come down to earth and the Knicks need to go on a crazy win streak of their own to match that. But 16-1 is wild. So I think it's going to be, and there's so much basketball to play, though, so it's hard to really say. But I think it's going to be between the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Knicks for the top 3 seed.
And I know I said one more question, but I actually have one more question.
Keep asking them.
How y'all gonna beat Boston though to get out the East? Like Tatum, Brown.
I'll tell you how.
Like, come on, man.
We built this roster to beat the Celtics. And you know why? You know who we brought in to help? We have 2 wing defenders that matches up on Tatum and Brown. That's OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Those 2 defenders are one of the best wing defenders in the league. And then we match up against those guys, and then we have our 2 scorers, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. So obviously the Boston Celtics are the better team than the Knicks. Obviously they are the better team. They have championship, pedigree after winning last season. But Knicks fans are very satisfied because now we have Karl-Anthony Towns who can stretch the floor, and we have 2 wing defenders that we feel like can match up on Tatum and Brown to neutralize them, while we have it's not like our best players needs to match up on those 2 guys, right? The Celtics' best 2 players are Tatum and Brown, and our best 2 players are Brunson and Cat, but then our number 3 option, number 4 option, those are the guys that are defending those 2. So that's why the Leon Rose went out there and got Mikal Bridges, because we want 2 wing defenders that can at least match up against them. Not to say they're going to shut them down. Tatum and Brown still going to get their 25, 30 a night, but can they neutralize them in the clutch and slow them down when it matters the most?
It's gonna be interesting, man. But you act like Drew Holiday isn't gonna shut, your guy down Brunson.
Yeah, no, of course they're not a 2-man. They're not a 2-man team. That's why the Celtics are good. They got Kristaps, they got Drew Holiday, they got White, they got Pritchard off the bench, they got Al Horford still. I mean, they're a deep team, which is why they're a championship roster. But when it comes to how we're gonna shut down those 2 guys, that's really the philosophy for the Knicks. So let's see if they're able to do just that. When it comes to the NBA MVP. Right now, it's between Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic are the favorites. I feel like, Jalen Brunson is going to get his name in there. Watch. Just wait for it. Jalen Brunson, midseason, his name's going to be in there. He's just getting started.
Okay, Richie.
He was 5th in MVP award last year, just so you know.
If you say so. But here's what I'll say. Tatum is the front runner right now for MVP. Jokic should be the front runner, but when you get hurt, that it kind of takes a toll. and he's out right now. Devin Booker had to, try to do it on his own last night with 33 points, and the team took a loss because the best player on the team isn't available. And that's not a knock on him, but at the same token, when you talk about awards, Tatum's there for his team to get those W's. So right now, and that's why I'm saying I wish he was playing last night so I could have really gauged who the Knicks are. Would Cat have had the night he had Jokic been on the court? Jokic,
they didn't play the Nuggets.
Hold on. Oh, Phoenix. I don't know why I keep on.
We play the Nuggets next week, though.
Yeah, I keep on. You know who I keep putting in the same boat sometimes? Murray and Booker. I don't know why. But yeah, so Phoenix. Oh well, Devin Booker. What's going on with Kevin Durant? That's something I haven't heard of. What's happening with him?
Yeah, he wasn't playing last night. He's injured. So is Bradley Beal. I mean, the Suns were like one of the best teams in the West, and then they got hurt. And now they're on a win. Now they're on a big losing streak. But he's expected to come back soon.
Well, Tatum's the front runner. I think he will win the MVP this year. What you really look for with Tatum is when you get in those finals or the playoffs or the finals, be the leader of your team. There's nothing wrong with just winning championships and Brown getting the MVP, but Tatum got to start to cement his career to where he's the best player on the court, even in the finals. So MVP would be nice for him, but I think the real accolade that he wants is to make sure he's the NBA Finals MVP as well for his legacy.
And that's what Brunson will be this year, baby. Let's go. Now, transitioning into the NFL MVP race. This is an interesting one. This has been a debate all across all of our shows. Seems like Josh Allen leapfrogged Lamar just for now in terms of the odds. But, TD, you're still not there of saying Josh Allen is the MVP. Why?
Because Lamar Jackson is still the MVP. The odds are reflected off of where the money is coming in at. And after Josh Allen's performance, a lot of people put money on him basically winning the MVP. So that's how the odds shift, okay? Listen, Lamar Jackson has been the better quarterback this year. Statistically, he's been better, and he's played better in more big games than Josh Allen. If we want to be honest about it, Josh Allen has one win, and it was phenomenal, y'all, against a great team. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs, in which he was the best player on the field in the game. So I get that. But Lamar Jackson, man, he's had multiple big games as a result of just the division he's in general. But he's had multiple big games. And when you look at it, the competition has been stiff for Lamar. Like, I go down the road and he's played the Chiefs and he took a loss. He's played the Raiders and he took a loss. And people are like, oh, you lost to the Raiders. That's all you need to know. It doesn't work that way, okay? At the end of the day, he beat the Bills, Richie. 72% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 135.4 rating, and beat the Bills. The Bills, the team that has the other guy. He beat him in the head-to-head matchup. That's just as big as Josh Allen and the Bills beating the Chiefs to me from an MVP candidate standpoint. It's almost like a wash. But then when you look at the resume, Josh Allen has nothing else on the resume other than winning football and continuing to win. But when you look at Lamar Jackson, he went on the road versus the Bengals, a division rival, put up 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He played against the Commanders, has 77% completion, 323 yards in the game. He went on the road versus the Bucs in that game where Mike Evans was playing, and has 77% completion, 281 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Look at the competition we're talking about here. He went up against that Broncos defense 2 weeks ago when they were starting to play great football. 84% completion, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Then he played the Bengals again, 76% completion, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I don't even think it's close. That's the crazy part. I don't even think it's close. The man has 6 games against the best competition in the league in which he went into it, put up monster numbers, and didn't turn the ball over. And not to mention, at what point are we going to discuss the fact that this man has thrown for 25 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions all season? At which point are we going to talk about the fact that he's right up at the top, almost leading the league in passing yards with 2,900 yards? At what point are we going to talk about, oh, Lamar can't throw the ball? The fact that he has a 67% completion percentage this season. He's been the better player. And this is not a knock on Josh Allen. He's having a phenomenal year as well, but Lamar Jackson is actually going off this year, Richie. And last thing I'll say on this is there's 6 more games. There's 6 games left. Lamar Jackson might end the season. When you look at the math here, he might end the season with 67% completion, 5,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. 8-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio potentially. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's thrown the ball weirdly well to what everybody know him as.
Would you say that the Ravens need to win their division though for him to win MVP?
No, I don't. But he needs to be number 2 in the division, and he still needs to get over 11 or 12 wins. And you know, the season cuts off, and then you go in the playoffs and see what you are. It's okay if he doesn't win it. At the end of the day, look at his division versus the Bills' division. Us. Look at it. Are we going to hold him to not winning his division when you look at the division he's in versus Josh Allen? Does Josh Allen have resistance in his division?
Yeah, because of you and me.
Well, which is true. But if let's take the Buffalo Bills and replace them with the Browns in that division. Are the Buffalo Bills got the record they got now?
What do you think?
They can't because Lamar already beat them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So Josh Allen the Bills wouldn't win that division because they done already lost to who we're debating them with. So Lamar is still the front runner for MVP right now. But here's the trifecta. It's Lamar's to lose, in my opinion, because all the what have you done for me lately, people, Richie, Lamar's going to have more moments that take over the what have you done for me lately. But if Lamar starts to play bad and starts to slip, it could be Josh Allen's or Jared Goff's. In that game where they play each other is going to matter. It's going to matter.
I agree. We got Teddy with a $2 super chat, says NFL need to let the players vote for MVP.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
I like that. That's what all pro is.
And then he says, if player vote for MVP, it won't be a quarterback award.
No, I don't know about that, though. I don't know about that because they're still gonna make it the player's still gonna understand how tough that position is, and I think it will still be a quarterback award at the end of the day.
People in the chat, Bills Mafia's in the chat. This sounds like Allen hate. Exactly, Josh Allen hater. So Bills Mafia's in the house calling you out for being a hater for Josh Allen.
I don't know why. I don't have to hate on Josh Allen. I admitted last week Josh Allen is playing phenomenal. Okay, but how is it hating him, Richie, when Lamar has a 67% completion, Josh Allen has 64? Who's better in that area, Richie?
What about last year, where Dan's point is that Josh Allen had better stats, but Lamar won the MVP? So now you're saying you're comparing the stats.
No, I think last year was a combination, in my opinion, of the two. It was a combination of the stats and the winning. He's trying to make it one or the other. Now, when it comes to last year and we talk about stats, I don't agree with him actually that he had better stats. And here's why, Richie. Last year, Josh Allen had I mean, Lamar Jackson had 24 touchdowns and 7 interceptions with a 102.7 rating. Josh Allen had 29 touchdowns and 18 interceptions with a 92.2 rating. Josh Allen didn't win MVP last year because he kept turning the ball over. And not to mention, last year, Josh Allen had a 66% completion percentage, but Lamar was still better at 67%. So the reason why Josh Allen didn't win MVP last year because he was a turnover machine. Now Josh Allen is in the conversation because he hasn't been a turnover machine, but Lamar right now is playing out of his mind. I mean, across the board, what argument can people make, Richie? Can you go through the Bills schedule and tell me what impressive wins Josh Allen has? Arizona Cardinals week 1, right? Okay, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Then you got the Chiefs. That's it. Like, do I need to read that you beat the Dolphins, the Jags? You lost to the Ravens. Wait. They beat the Texans, right?
No, they lost to the Texans.
And you lost to the Texans. Josh Allen had 30% completion, 131 yards in that game. Like, come on, man. Do I need to go down this list? You beat the Dolphins and the Jags. Good job. You lost to the Ravens and Texans, 2 teams to bolster your resume. And you did not play well in either of them. Don't forget that Ravens game, you were 55% completion, 180 yards, 0 passing touchdowns. Like, I really think this ain't even close, Richie. Then you beat the Jets, one of the worst teams. You beat the Titans, one of the worst teams. Wait. You beat the Seahawks, right? They beat the Seahawks on the road. That was a solid win. Okay, that was one that you should put in the plus column of the resume. 70% completion, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But then you beat the Dolphins. We've been bad. You beat the Colts. They've been bad. And in that game, you had 0 touchdowns and threw 2 interceptions against the Colts. And your defense pretty much won the game. And then you beat the Chiefs. Come on, Richie. I gave you Lamar Jackson's schedule and what he was able to do in those games. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 400 yards, 300 yards. 70% completion, 78% completion. I've given you his stats, and you compare those to Josh Allen, it's not even close.
You're pissing off Austin, dude.
Well, I don't know why, Austin. This is just the truth. Y'all don't want to live in the truth. Like, Josh Allen hasn't been better than Lamar Jackson in a single category this season. Not a single category. You can't name one.
Well, the poll is live, TD. So everybody in the chat that's watching, you guys can make your voice heard. So far, Lamar Jackson's winning 67% of 12 votes. So, guys, vote in the chat. Also, don't forget to like, because liking this show really helps us propel the Wake Up and Ball show into the YouTube algorithm. And we're really excited to keep the show going, man. The NFL MVP Frontrunner segment is heating up, and TD's passionate about this one, man. TD's passionate about this, man. So hit that like button right now and vote. 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 Right, TD? Vote.
Yes. Make sure that you vote, baby. If players vote for I already read that. Yeah, make sure you put it in. Man, it's obvious, man. Lamar Jackson. And we know we got some Bills fans watching right now. Lamar Jackson has this.
All right, let's transition into a new topic. Now, this was a topic last week. Can Denver make the playoffs? And could Bo Nix win Rookie of the Year? Is he knocking at the door of Jaden Daniels? I mean, I'm actually curious to see their numbers. I mean, let's talk about the
that's a good one. Let me pull those up.
Because I'm really curious, because you guys know me, I was very adamant about Bo Nix. Dan Mitchell was a Bo Nix hater, and I was not. And
Rich, you called it, Rich.
I wanted the Jets to draft him, TD. And Jets fans were roasting me. Man, where would he be right now? Jaden Daniels. All right, so Bo Nix has 14 passing touchdowns. Daniels has 10 passing touchdowns. Bo Nix has 6 interceptions. Jaden Daniels has 3 interceptions. Bo Nix has an 89 rating. Daniels got a 99 rating. All right. So I think, right now it is Jaden Daniels' award to lose. He also has the rushing yard. I mean, Bo Nix actually rushes the ball. Let me see those numbers. Forgot that they both are mobile. Guys, who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year? Let us know in the chat. Is it going to be Jaden Daniels, or is Bo Nix knocking at the door right now to win that award? Let's see the rushing numbers. I wish there were like an easier way to see rushing numbers on these freaking stats.
This is interesting.
Rushing numbers. All right, so Jaden Daniels rushing has, for the team, for the season, 482 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. It's a lot. And then Bo Nix has 295 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. So both have the same amount of rushing touchdowns, but Daniels got them in yards. So I think Daniels is the front runner now, but the question is, can Bo Nix catch him?
Let me see. This is, and like I said, I want to use the same principles, right? Here's my issue with Jaden Daniels, Richie. The team is 7-4, right? And it makes you say, okay, let's go to those 4 losses. Buccaneers at Bucks, right? And this is the first game of the season when they were healthy. Great team at the time. At the Ravens, another great team. Steelers at home, another great team. And at the Eagles, another great team. You don't have a victory outside of the Arizona Cardinals that I can say, wow. And that's for Jaden Daniels. That's the issue I have in that situation. Now, Bo Nix, on the other hand, almost the same thing, but you may have, it's almost the same thing, actually. Look, you lost to the Seahawks. You lost to the Steelers. You beat the Bucks on the road early when they were healthy. Okay, week 3. But then you lost to the Chargers, you lost to the Ravens, and you lost to the Chiefs. And I don't see any wins outside of that I'm impressed with other than the Atlanta Falcons, but they're starting to slip. So both of them are in the same boat in that regard. They're not beating the good teams. They're beating the bad teams, but with their age being so young, that is a great sign, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Early on, as long as a rookie you're beating the bad teams, that's a building block right there. But what I will say, looking at the rest of the schedule, Richie, Bo Nix has an opportunity to prove himself in the last 3 weeks. Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs in the last 3 weeks. And that can decide their entire season of if they actually make the playoffs, like the question is. Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs, the last 3 games. And on the flip side of it, Jaden Daniels, he has only one opportunity to prove himself, and that's against the Eagles. Everything else, they should beat the Cowboys. They should beat the Titans. They should beat the Saints. They should beat the Falcons. And they should beat the Cowboys again. He got an easier road. Only the Eagles on December 22nd is test worthy. So Bo Nix could, if he was able to get his team into the playoffs with that gauntlet on the back end, I think that I like Bo Nix barely. Or if I would want to just be fair, I'll put him in the same category with Jaden Daniels, because the stats aren't far off, Richie. Jaden Daniels has a little better of a stats, but they're not far off. So I like if Bo Nix makes the playoffs, that is huge for him.
Well, let's see their playoff odds. So this is the playoff picture as we speak right now, heading into week 12. The Denver Broncos are the 7th seed. Their current percentage is 63%. If they win against the Raiders, it improves to 68%. And it's interesting. You got the Broncos and the Commanders as the same exact seed, right? We're talking about Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels. They're both the 7th seed in their respective conferences. The Commanders seem like they have an easier path to the playoffs at 7-4. 82% chance to make the playoffs, 89% if they beat the Cowboys this week. So the big question is, will they be winning and going to the postseason, right? You're obviously living on the hopes that the Miami Dolphins can come and steal that Broncos spot because let's be honest, Ravens ain't losing, Chargers ain't losing. The Broncos are the
it's
only
just
team.
one spot. It's just one spot, and that's the Denver Broncos. But I'll say this though, Richie. The Ravens better not pick. The Ravens better not play around at the end of this season. Pick the wrong time to start having some lulls, because when you look at the schedule, anything's possible in that regards. I don't see the Ravens falling, but I'm just saying in general, they better not pick this moment right here to start playing around and losing any games. But it's going to be the Denver Broncos. That's the team that everybody's hoping can't survive that gauntlet on the back end. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race to see who ends it up. I mean, who would have thought that there's 3 AFC West playoff teams right now, right?
Man, that's wild.
Unreal. And then 2 AFC North. It really comes down. And then you got, the AFC East and the AFC South. They just both are the divisions that are really stinking it up, man. Really, really stinking it up. So we shall see what happens. But at the end of the day, I think that it's going to be a really close race as we go forward into the rest of this playoff race. All right. Now, I do wanted to get your thoughts of this. We talked about it a little bit yesterday on the AFC East Roundtable. Who the heck is the Jets' next head coach going to be? Right? Woody Johnson's been calling all the shots. He's going to hire somebody. Here are the odds on BetUS. If you guys want to check out BetUS, you guys know them. They are the #1 online sports book. They are going to be and continue to be our proud sponsor of Wake Up and Ball and Roundtable Sports Network all season long. You guys can use the code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus, all right? And then 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits. That's all the way up to $2,000. 10% gamblers insurance policy. They got a 24/7 customer service. BetUS is the #1 online sports book, and here are the odds on them who's going to be the next Jets head coach. We talked about it a little bit last night. Jets fans and anybody that's watching, let us know who you think or who you think should be the Jets' next head coach. There's a name on here that I want to get your thoughts. Is there any chance that Deion Sanders gets hired? Because I don't think it's possible, but you never know.
Well, let me say this, Richie. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought long and hard about some of the conversations we've had over the last 24 hours about the Jets. And here's the deal. I kind of operate out of a sense of reality sometimes in that, Woody Johnson is the owner and that's not going to change, right? But
too bad.
I want to shift into what most Jets fans are, right? Here's what needs to happen. I mean, and you all are right. He does need to hire a president, okay? He needs to make sure that he has somebody actually running the organization and he relinquishes the power to just collecting his checks and the value that it all brings and showing up to games and enjoying them and, riding helicopters, doing all that stuff, okay? This president needs to then find a general manager that they love. Okay. Then when you bring the general manager in-house, they have to pick a coach. The Jets are in a tough spot right here with the whole Rodgers situation. Do you bring him back or not? Your draft pick, where you are in the race on that. And right now, what pick do you all have, by the way?
7.
7. That's crazy. So
you want to see the tankathon? I mean, it's pretty wild stuff. The Jets actually have a chance to if they keep
your
losing.
remaining schedule, are you losing out or do you see but we probably will beat them?
I mean, we have the Jaguars on the schedule, which is really going to be the all-tell sign if the Jets are going to be able to where they're going to be in the race.
Well, if I'm the Jets, I'm low-key giving a mandate to the interim head coach to tank, Richie. And I know some people don't want to hear nothing about tanking or anything like that, but you got to do. I've come to not care about that anymore. You play the game to win. Well, guess what? Running the organization is a part of the game and making long-term decisions if you got to sacrifice now. I would actually tank. And I would
Does that
not
mean
get
benching Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this is the draft order right now.
Y'all got that third one. That sucks. But I wouldn't win another game. And I think that you would end up top 4 if you don't win another game.
I mean, we have the Jaguars coming up. That's going to be the game.
I would give them the win.
I mean,
I would not win another game. Y'all played Tennessee.
Yeah, we beat them.
So you can't. That's tough. You didn't play Cleveland. You didn't play the Giants. All right, but here's my thing. I would secure a top 4 pick. Okay. And I would actually, once I bring my president in and I bring my general manager in, I'm going to have conversation. If I got a top 4 pick, the first thing I'm doing as the general manager is I'm reaching out to Deion Sanders. Deion, and just ask the question. Deion, do you think the Jets is a place that you and your son would like to be together? It's that simple. No, hey, the plan changes. If he says, man, hey, that's intriguing, that's interesting, done deal. Done deal. It's New York, Richie. This is Deion Sanders. Only thing bigger than New York from a spotlight standpoint for him, and they love the spotlight, is Dallas. So this is New York, Richie. And I'm going to tell you now, Deion is going to be able to bring the best staff the NFL has to offer, because up-and-coming coaches will be recognized and noticed, because you've never seen the Jets with more attention than if Deion came and he brought his son with him.
More attention than Rodgers brought?
Yes, because this is the future.
I know.
This is a shakeup in New York. We got Deion Sanders. I don't know if this is going to work, but it sure is going to be flashy. Mix that with New York. High expectations. And you know how, coaches be like, yeah, this city has expectations. I'm just trying to do my best I can. Deion ain't shrinking to the moment. He's not humbling to the moment. You do notice that most coaches and stuff like that, they humble to the moment in New York because the media is so impactful and big. They humble to it like they're not backing down, but they're like, I'm not going to talk over it. Yep. Deion's he's one of the only people that can talk over it. He will right his ship, because he'll hold media accountable too, Richie. And it's like a shakeup you would need, and it would bring excitement to the Jets. But you know what else it would bring that nobody's talking about, Richie? It's going to bring the best players. The younger up-and-coming players, it's going to bring the best ones. They're going to want to play for Deion. Because you know what? He's going to set a parameter. This ain't college. I already know that. This the NFL. You can't tell a grown man what to do, but don't be coming over here trying to get a check if you ain't going to fall in line and want to win. And some players that'll still resonate with in this league today. And most of those players are the true dogs in the league. Man, New York.
My only question is, like, say the Jets hypothetically get the 5th pick, and you have the Raiders ahead of them, the Giants ahead of them,
the
Titans ahead of them.
You already solved it, Richie.
How is Deion Sanders how is Sanders gonna get hired by a team without it 100,000,000% guaranteed that he can draft his son?
Richie, he's the one guaranteed. Deion, are the Jets something that you're interested in you and your son coming to? If that's intriguing. I think so. It's done already, Richie. It's done. Deion already said it in the interview.
Well, yeah, but how do they know he's going to fall to you? You have to trade up for him? What if another team drafts him?
You keep missing. You keep saying fall. Deion already said in an interview. They said, but, you can't control where your son goes. What if a bad team? He said, no, he ain't. Ain't no way he going to a bad team. He said, what you going to do? You going to pull a LeVar? You going to be like, he be like, no, I'm not doing that. I will call them in private. Nobody will ever know about it. Don't draft my son. You are wasting your time. Richie, they got money. They don't need, this isn't like, oh, please draft. They don't care. He don't care if he's the 13th pick versus the 1st pick. That little bit of money difference don't matter to them. They're straight.
Yeah, it's not about the money. It's just about,
he
there's teams out there with leverage. There's teams out there that...
Richie, what leverage do they have? You think a team is willing to draft Shedeur Sanders and he don't play?
And is Shedeur Sanders even, Is this game going to translate to the NFL?
Yeah, because Deion's going to get him protected. See, the thing about Shedeur that I like that'll transfer to the NFL, the greatest version of him, you protect. The non-protected version is a fighter, just keeps playing through it. It's not shaking him. He has the mental toughness where it will never shake him. You know how, you're going to break the player. He's a player that you can't break. He's going to keep on going at it. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference. And Deion talks about that. He has the mental toughness. That's the piece of it. Hey man, do you remember what he went through last year? The most sacked quarterback. He don't get up crying. He don't get up barking. Next play, picked it up sacked again. Next play. It doesn't matter. I can't control what's around me, and I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm gonna go out and make the best of the situation that I can. And on top of that, I don't know if you know much about Shedeur. You do know that he's a Tom Brady underling, right? You know he trained with Tom Brady for years. Tom Brady took him under his wing. He helped develop him. He's a Tom Brady underling. That's why the Raiders are so, oh man, Tom Brady the owner now. We gonna get Shedeur.
Yeah, he's probably a Raider if we're being honest.
Yeah, because the interview I saw yesterday with Ice Cube, he was like, I mean, in my perfect world, you'll be a Raider. And Deion got up, now you're talking, baby. And they was dapping up. So, yeah, he could.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a Raider.
But they're going to fire their coach like that?
But what makes you think it's guaranteed that Deion Sanders is getting an NFL job? Do you think there's a world where Deion Sanders stays in Colorado and he gets goes?
Because Deion was on that stage yesterday with Ice Cube in that interview, his new show, and he said, "What should I?" He asked Ice Cube, "What should I do? What do you think I should do? Should I, go with my son and be a coach in the NFL? Should I?" And Ice Cube was like, "Yeah, man. If you're gonna ask me now, that'll be big." And he was really excited. His demeanor was like, "Yeah, like Deion's starting that conversation now." He's opening that door. He wants to take care of business at Colorado because that's his focus. And he's been doing a good job when they asked about it the last 4 weeks. Oh, man, I love where I'm at. Y'all leave me alone with that. But now he's starting to, you're seeing those little hints now and him playing this game now. Bruh, it's going to happen. He's coming with his son because he did it his whole life. He's been with his son his whole life. That's been his dream. He's been coaching his whole life. From start to finish, he's not going to pass them off if there's an opportunity for them to go together to the next level. And you also have to understand his vision, Richie, with his faith. A lot of people were mad when he left Jackson, but in his mind, I have a gift. I'm here to help these young kids at HBCUs and stuff, but what better way to do it than to elevate myself and bring them along? And now if I elevate to the NFL, now I can actually go out and recruit some of these talents that recruiters don't even go look at. That's his ultimate calling. That's what he's been trying to do. And people get mad when he left there and then left and going to leave again. This is what he's trying to do, trying to get to that ultimate level and give everybody a fair shot and go into some of these smaller schools and find talent. So, hey, if I was the Jets, I'll be putting the full court press and throwing that bug in his ear, sending out them scouts to do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets right now, the 7th overall pick, they're on a bye week. So I'm curious to see, if the Patriots win, that would help. Now we're in tank mode. I mean, Jets fans are unfortunately used to this time when we're rooting for teams around us to win and us to lose and blah, blah, blah. And listen, I'm never going to be rooting for my team to lose. I go into it with the mindset of it's completely out of my control. Whether I root for a win or a loss, there's no impact. So I root for wins. And if they lose, cool, better for our draft pick. But if they lose, good, we got a better pick. Right? Like it's out of my control. So what's your thoughts of rooting for the tank? Could you go out there, say the Dolphins hypothetically start losing and they're mathematically out, and there's 4 games left in the season and there's no hopes for the playoffs, where's your mindset at for tanking? Are you a fan that could root for the Dolphins to lose for a better draft pick, actively? Or are you just hey, whatever happens, and we'll see?
There's no shot at making the playoffs. I'm all on board for tanking. I didn't used to feel this way. Remember when we had Brian Flores and they were like, tank for Tua? I'm like, no, man, Flores is a winner. He don't want to tank. We're trying to win, right? I only felt that way because I didn't want Brian Flores to be like a lot of minority coaches that get set up and they build a team, and then all of a sudden, they say, hey, look at the first season. They only won 4 games. Yeah, but y'all wanted to tank, and he was doing it. So that's why I was against it. But now, that's like if we lose to the Patriots this weekend. Man, I'm going to be mad if we win another game.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
It's a constant battle. Unfortunately, I'm in this every year with not winning for playoff spots, but losing for tanking. It's just like at the end of the day, the way I look at it, TD, it's like no matter if we root for whatever, that doesn't impact what happens on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. So like I'm a fan of my team. I always want my team to win, and I'm gonna root for them to win. Like I remember 2 years ago when the Jets were like tanking for Trevor Lawrence that season. And we like just lost to the Raiders at the buzzer, and I was upset. And then right away I was like, that's good. I just can't actively look at my Jets football team on the field and root for the other team. It's just not in my blood. I'm just not wired that way. Even though I know deep down
you don't have to
root
for the other team. You don't have to root for the other team. I know what you're saying. You want to see your team win, but here's the deal. You don't root for the other team, but you don't root for yours. That's what it really means for a fan.
And this will be different for the Jets because the Jets got nothing now. We don't even have a coach, bro. We don't have a G. We literally are depleted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nobody on this team.
If the Jets are smart, they got to go get one of those 2 guys, man. You got to move heaven and earth to go do it.
Cam Ward?
Man, that would be. See, I like Cam Ward more than Shedeur. The only thing, and what I love about Shedeur,
why can't this class be a stacked quarterback class? That's what's pissing me off. There's only 2 guys that I got to be, there's going to be the Giants. I mean, look at all the teams that are quarterback hungry, man. You got the Giants, you got the Titans, even the Browns could get a quarterback.
Bring in their future.
The Raiders. I mean, the Jaguars is going to be interesting because they just extended Lawrence.
Yeah, they're not.
The Patriots are not. Panthers
Jets
could
need to. Carolina, and because you also got to look out for them leapfrogging you, jumping over you.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't think that. Yeah, the Jets are too. They don't tank right. So when they need to lose, they start winning. The Jets are going to start winning games. I promise you after the bye for no reason. It's going to piss the fan base off.
Here's the deal: if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, I am securing that number 1 seed. I am securing that number 1 seed. You talk about the leverage this year they'll have. Man, they might get 5 first-round picks out of that, Richie.
Flex Shorts does not want the Jets to get Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a Jets fan then.
Man, I'm telling you now, if I'm the Jets, you can get in the top 5. You're on the phone with the Jacksonville Jaguars, giving them your future. You might even want to throw in a player for
Is Cam Ward that generational though?
Cam Ward is that dude, bro. And let me tell you something.
I'll be honest with you. I have not done any research on Cam Ward, so I don't really have it. I don't have my own opinion on him. I'm going to start. I just refuse to. I'm kind of like at that stage of acceptance that the Jets are actually done, so I got to start researching this quarterback class, but I haven't done my research yet.
Put it like this. You see how Burrow defense letting him down? That's what the Hurricanes defense doing with Cam, but he winning. He's winning. That's what
about him individually makes him that dude? Like
he's that dude.
What tendencies does he have that you think is going to translate?
Everything.
I'm just asking because I don't even know.
Like, everything. Tell me anybody out there, where's the weakness? Where's the weakness? Can make every throw, has arm strength, can throw inside the numbers, outside the numbers, has the quick flick of the wrist, how he does it. Quarterback standard. He's way taller than Shedeur. If I'm to guess 6'2", maybe. Let me see. Did you find it? Did you type in Cam Ward height?
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". He got it, Richie. He's the dude. He's the best quarterback coming out. The only thing I love about Shedeur is that you would have that combination with Dion. And Shedeur is that dude too, but Cam, I got Cam over him all day.
This is his first year at Miami?
Yeah. Remember, he was moving his way up.
All right, I guess I'm doing Cam Ward. I mean, I don't even want to research him because I'm going to get obsessed, and then we're not going to get him.
Go do the work, Richie. You never know. I'm telling you, man. Here's the wild card for this year's draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars potentially sitting right up there, not needing a quarterback. It's going to be the highest.
But if Trevor Lawrence is a bust, like, why wouldn't they do it?
Yeah, but they're not. They don't view him as a bust. That's the problem. They don't view him as a bust. Now, I'm not going to lie, Richie. They paid him, but you never know in today's NFL. They may feel like, let's get Cam, trade Trevor, because half of these teams lower than us, they'll take Trevor, and we can get Cam Ward and take their pick. And let me tell you something with the Jags. Could you imagine them drafting Cam Ward and trading Trevor Lawrence for like a third or fourth pick and getting Travis Hunter too?
Oh, no, that is impossible. What?
Why did you say that?
TD, who the heck is trading their second or third overall pick for Trevor Lawrence?
Just one first round pick? Yeah, they would.
This year's first round pick in the top? No,
not first, but the number 3 overall, number 4 overall.
That's not happening.
You don't think they would trade that? No. I mean, you get 4 or 5 first round picks.
You're saying that someone would trade their third or second overall pick for Trevor Lawrence. That is mad.
Let me give you an example. If the Carolina Panthers are in the 4th place and they're not going to get Cam or
they trade a future first, but not this year's first in the top 5. That's way too valuable.
For Trevor Lawrence, a quarterback.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, who's like not good.
Bring stability, but he can at least bring stability.
Nah, bro. Over Travis Hunter, dude, that is impossible.
All right, I mean,
you got to offer like a ridiculous amount on top of that in order for that to work.
Well, here's the problem with all of that. Then the Jags might just take Travis Hunter at number 1.
It's true. There's some people saying that Travis Hunter's overrated and he's not even the best at
people
wide
crazy.
Receiver and corner.
And those people crazy. You see how he move in open space?
But is he playing both positions in the next level though?
Depend on his coach. But yeah, he is. Deion's already made that clear too. See, that's the problem. Deion said he gonna play both ways on the next level. If you're not gonna let him, then don't draft him. See, these kids got money now, Richie. I mean, Travis Hunter got millions on them NIL deals. They not worried about that. They get to make sure they're in their best position to make even more money in the future. They're not gonna settle for the team that's not gonna let them do what they want to do. You want to talk about a new era of football? This year, it's about to come in. And people need to go ahead and get on board because that's going to be the new era of football. These kids don't need you anymore. They don't need the NFL money anymore. They got money already.
Well, we got a long way to go before the draft comes around, but we're excited about it. We are definitely excited about it. That's going to wrap up Wake Up and Ball today. Flick Short says he's Mahomes-ish, type a little faster though. That's a pretty crazy comparison, Flicks. I'd slow down.
It might not be, Richie. You need to go do your homework, Richie.
Mahomes-ish? All right, I'll do my homework.
Cam Ward, that dude, bro.
All right, we shall see. Well, everybody, we appreciate the Wake Up and Ball support every single morning. Don't forget to like the show and subscribe to Roundtable Sports Network. We appreciate all the love and all the hype that you guys are showing us. Much love to everybody. Shout out to BetUS, as always, for being the proud sponsor of Wake Up and Ball. And Josh Allen wins the poll. 68 votes. 58% says that Josh Allen is the MVP. 40% says Lamar Jackson.
They sent out that Bills mass text. Get in here and vote. We got to protect our guy at all costs.
Yeah, man. So 69 votes, nice. 59% Josh Allen, 40% Lamar. We shall see. TD's going to be hosting Wake Up and Ball tomorrow by himself unless he gets so many guests coming up. So we shall see. I won't be on Wake Up and Ball on Fridays, but we got TD holding it down. So we'll see you guys later today on The Huddle. All right, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the support. Smash those buttons. TD, anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
And just thank y'all for tuning in. Again, if you're new to this channel, subscribe right now to Wake Up and Ball. All right, me and Richie will be with you every morning. Thank y'all so much for the love and support. We out.
We are out here. Thank you so much as always. We will see you next time.
Peace.